Hello to my feisty friends. Happy Wednesday. Today is March 26th, I think. It's kind of been a whirlwind. I'd like to first off say welcome back to any returning viewers and a nice big feisty welcome to any new viewers. This is season 1, episode 3. And it's been, I feel like every time, and I say every time, it's been one other time, but I should be like, it's been 2 weeks since my last confession. But I think it's been about 2 weeks since my last video. Today we're going to go ahead and run through a little bit about what I've been working on, kind of some of the floss tubes I've been watching, and some haul that I've picked up, personal haul, along with some haul for the store. So lots of really good stuff to cover. Before we get going on everything and get into the meat and potatoes of it all, don't forget to like today's video. You can like my other ones too, I'm okay with that. And also subscribe to my channel. Every little bit and every little share always helps, and I really appreciate it, getting the word out about what Fiesty Needle has to offer. Speaking of that, I'm Tona. I am the Fiesty Stitcher on Instagram and the owner of Fiesty Needle. Fiesty Needle on Flosstube, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are currently an online shop. We can be found at FiestyNeedle.com, and it's F-I-E-S-T-Y, Fiesty Needle. And soon, no, not soon, eventually, also a brick and mortar store. That is the long-term goal. I'm just getting back into the swing of things today. As I had mentioned on my previous video, I was leaving my position that I had and starting a new job, and my last day at my old job was last Thursday. I went away for the weekend for a stitchy event, and today was my very first day at my new store. So that was fun. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not entirely true. Not at my new store, with my new company at a different store while I'm training. So anyway, enough about that. So yeah, luckily I had a nice stitching weekend where I was able to spend some time and get some X's put in. So the first thing that I want to show you is a series that I've been working on for the last 3 years, I think. It is the Sampler of the Month by Cottage Needleworks. So I have stitched all of the other samplers. I am now on to December. Oh, this is really blowing this out. I'm so sorry. I am stitching this on a 16 count beautiful beige Ada, and like I said, it was a new start, and that's where I'm at. Not even taking it out of the hoop. Unfortunately, I have a gingerbread that is living in the wrong spot, so I do have to move him over one, but that's my start. Hoping to have that done by the end of April, and then I'll have that series completed. And I have the frame. It came with, I'm sorry, it didn't come with, but there was a custom frame that could be ordered. I think I ordered it through Fat Quarter Shop, and it is by Family Tree Frame Co. And kind of see it here. There we go. So that is the frame that I have. So I just need to finish off, do FFOs on all of them. I haven't started. I figured I would wait until I got all of the series done, and then I could go through and just do a once over. So that is still the plan. But yeah, if I can get that done by the end of April, I would be super happy with that. I got some really good stitching in on Ruskins Penguins. Ruskins Penguins is by Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is also a pattern that I carry in the shop, along with some other wonderful, not as common patterns from Modern Folk. Jacob is kind of known for his more bigger statement style pieces, I would say. And I did bring in some of his smaller ones, which are not seen stitched as much, but still beautiful nonetheless. So this is 18 count Ada, Joy Lynn by Atomic Ranch, and I'm using the called for Roxy floss. And yeah, beautiful red. I just love this red. It's coming through a little bit more vibrant than it actually is. It's a little bit more of a muted red, but nonetheless, it's showing lovely on there. My goal is still to finish this by the end of March. Fingers crossed. I would say I'm probably at about 80% completion right now. I do not track my stitches. I stitch from a pattern, so I just kind of guesstimate where I'm at, which has worked well for me so far, and I am okay with that. The next one that I stitched on is a Hello from Liz Matthews. This is Quaker Gardens. This is also a pattern that I have available in the shop at FiestyNeedle.com. There we go. So this one is done in a monochromatic. However, I have totally changed this up. So I'm stitching this on an 18 count pink chocolate. And that's from Be Stitch Me. And the floss is Weeks Dye Work Raspberry and Raspberry Tart. So I'll show that, which I just love. So what I did is I had the 3 bottom border rows done. So what I got put in was this Quaker flower here, and I've got started on the leaf on the next flower over, just kind of underneath the deer there. And I don't have an exact plan for which items I'm going to stitch in the tart and which items I'm going to stitch in the raspberry. Instead, I'm kind of getting a feel for it as I go. What I'm leaning towards at this point is all of the leaves I'll do in the solid raspberry. The Quaker motifs will be in the raspberry tart. However, you can see in this one that I did the raspberry tart, but then in the very center, I switched it out to raspberry. So, some of those little modifications as I go are pretty fun. While I was away on my stitchy weekend, of course, I asked my table mates what they thought, and was really fun to get their input as well. Flosstube. I've watched a lot of Flosstube in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. A lot of Flosstube. And I'm having a hard time remembering everybody that I watched, because I watched a lot of Flosstube. That being said, there are 3 that stood out to me that I wanted to just mention. And if you haven't heard of them before, I hope you certainly go and check them out. If you have watched them before, you'll know what a treat they are. The first is a very new Flosstuber. He has done 1 video, and as I was looking up some of his credentials, I noticed that he has another one that's posted, so I'll have to watch that as well. And that is Jason Cross Stitches. When we were down on our girls' weekend, so let me back up. We went to Welcome Weekend this past weekend, and that's at Welcome Stitchery down in Blue Earth, Minnesota. Hi, Justine. And my friends Debbie and Janelle and myself had an Airbnb that we stayed at while we were down there. So we went down Thursday night and came back Sunday afternoon and just had a great time. So we were actually at the Airbnb and we ran across Jason Cross Stitches, and all 3 of us were like, we really enjoyed him. He was super fun to watch. He's a new stitcher. If I gathered correctly, he has been purchasing cross stitch for some time, so he's been an accumulator already, but he didn't pick up the actual craft until, I want to say, like last October. So he's a very new stitcher. He's a new Flosstuber. He's got a variety of stuff. Some long dogs, modern folk, if I remember correctly, and pigeon coop designs. Some of the Max Pigeon stuff, which he's changed colors on already, which is super fun to watch somebody have that confidence already as a new stitcher. So just some really beautiful pieces. The next person that that stands out is Moonshine Stitchery. Phoebe is that Flosstuber. She's over in Utah, I believe. And what a great variety of stuff she has. She's got some mirrors that were just beautiful. She's got about 70, 80 floss tubes that she's filmed. It looks like she also has been into nails and has her own line of nail polish, which is always fun. So color seems to be her jam. She really likes to kind of play around with those things. And yeah, just a great assortment. I've watched a couple of her videos now. She recently did a whip parade. That was great. So yeah, go check out Phoebe at Moonshine Stitchery. And then Stitching by the Shore with Laura. She is from the East Coast. I have been watching Laura since I discovered Flosstube. I was so excited when I discovered Laura because she also stitches on Aida, and usually in that 18 count. And I am totally an Aida girl. I'll do some even weave. I've thrown some even weave here and there, but 18 count Aida is totally my jam. And it was really, it's just nice to tune in and actually see something on, you know, relevant to what I would stitch. And we have very similar styles. She does such a variety of designers that you would know that are super mainstream, and you know them just by looking at their designs. Some off of Etsy. She loves to display them or think of alternate ways to display. Puts them in scrapbooks. She does trading cards. So she's built a really nice community of stitchers, and I certainly hope you can go watch her. She's got a lot of videos, like 250, 300, like she's up there. She's an OG. That is for sure. So Jason Cross Stitches, Moonshine Stitchery, and Stitching by the Shore are three that I would like to send you away with this video. And hopefully you find something or someone that interests you, and maybe there's a little bit of, what are we saying? It's not enabling, it's encouraging. Encouraging of the purchases. I have some haul. I've got some mail haul. Is first off, I don't remember where I saw this. Somebody on Instagram had posted this book. It is called Cross Stitch Happy Days. It's by Koyoko Marioka, and she's a Japanese designer. This is the cover of the book. And like I said, it's on Amazon. There are two patterns in here that are the reason I ordered the book. And the first is called Girl with Dove. And I'm thinking maybe XOXO Needle in the Hay. Maybe I'm stitching it. That could be where I saw it. Don't quote me on that. So Girl with Dove. And then the other pattern in here is Stylish Girl. That was the other one. So those two patterns right there were the reasons that I ordered the book. And then as I was thumbing through this, I fell in love with Butterfly Hydrangea. So basically what she has done is taken butterflies and put them together in a way that makes it look like a hydrangea. Isn't that just amazing? Oh my gosh. Just love it. So yeah, Cross Stitch Happy Days. There are 25 different patterns. There's even some that are, there's some monthly stuff in here. There's some motif items. It's a great book. I want to say it was about $15 on Amazon, so very affordable. Justine. Hi, Justine at Welcome Stitchery does this great thing at Welcome Weekend called Justine's Bingo. It may be bingo that she didn't switch out the card from the last time we did it. There may be misspellings like Supper Bowl instead of Super Bowl. But it is definitely Justine's Bingo. And I won. I won during Justine's Bingo. I won a wedding sampler from It's So Emma. And I think it's lovely. This pattern is super thick because it comes with many options to be able to change the name, the date, comes with all the alphabets, all the fun things. So that is wedding sampler. That's all I won. Unfortunately, other people won and I didn't win anymore. Justine was running a sale that if you found anything in the store that did not have a barcode on it, because she is switching over to get her store completely on a barcode system, that it would be half off. So I ran into some punch needle. There is Celebrate 15 Years of Needlework by Teresa Kogut, and it is all punch needle designs. And look at this guy. Look at, I love him. Isn't it fun? There are 15 punch needle designs in here, ranging from very prim to a little bit more modern. There's a really fun donkey in here. And because it's backwards, we joked that instead of it being donkey, it was Yucknut. And we've got Tilly. So yeah, just some super fun patterns. I don't mind adding to my own personal punch needle collection. That's a whole nother hobby in itself, is the collecting, right? And then a hello from Liz Matthews punch needle pattern called Moby. Moby's Garden. I think he's pretty. And a little bit of market haul. So first is Folk Art Garden. Some of you might be saying, why do you have haul from another store? Well, because I believe that we support each other. And Justine hosts Welcome Weekend. She doesn't charge for it. And this is my way of giving back and saying thank you to offering these great events, really bringing the community together. And yeah, so that's why. Makes sense to me. So, Teresa Kogut, Folk Art Garden. Oh, God. It is so pretty. I love that. Heart and Hand, Bumblebee Etchings. I do have the first floral etchings that came out, which is this top one here. And I've stitched this first one for a smalls exchange, but I haven't stitched the whole thing together. And I've seen the Heart and Hand trunk show before, and she does these awesome pillows that are on like a super big count, like a 10 count, and does them individually, and they look amazing. And it's kind of what I'm leaning towards when I get to that point. Rosewood Manor is my next bit of haul. Parkington Manor sampler. Let's see. On this one, let's see if I can get the glare off of there. On this one, Janelle, who is on YouTube, she's Coffee, Wine, and Stitching Time. On Instagram, she's Stitching in Zim. Watch for her upcoming Flosstube whenever she films it and posts it. She did a color conversion on this, and it's some mauves and taupes and grays, and it is amazing. I'm okay with like I can do like 1 or 2 color conversions, but she's brave doing all the color conversions for the whole pattern because I'm so afraid I'm going to mess up the vibe, and she doesn't. They just look great every time she does it. And my last bit of market haul is Disagree from Rebel Stitcher. This chart speaks to me in the core of my being. We can disagree and still love each other, unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and rights to exist. Oh, Colleen, you have done just a fantastic job with this. I love it. The timing couldn't be any better. And there is a sale. A lot of people are stitching this as a sale, but there actually is a Facebook group that has been started. And last time I checked, there was like 40 people in it, but it's basically, you know, the traditional start along. But if you search for the Disagree sale, I believe that is what it's under. I did a little bit of modification. This is called for on Granny Annie Classic Colorworks blue, and I switched it out to Midnight from Gentle Arts. Let me see if it's showing a little bit bolder than it really is. It's very saturated blue. I picked up this 36 count Be Stitch Me Frozen Lake. Originally, I thought, oh, that'll be fantastic. And it is fantastic. Then I got home and I looked at the pile of fabric that I had yet to put away that was sitting on my kitchen table. And now I can't decide between 28 count Queen Anne lace Jobelin or 18 count Ledger from Be Stitch Me. So here's Ledger. Let me open that up a little bit more. You can see how. And here is Queen Anne's lace. So now I feel like I'm back at square one. I know I still want to do this blue. So there's with the Queen Anne's lace. And here is with Ledger. I'm kind of leaning towards Ledger, but I don't know. I don't know, people. There are so many options. Sometimes I get into, like, what do they call that? Like decision paralysis. Just pick something, right? Anyway. So the reason I showed Disagree last was because that is also part of my plans. So along with stitching on Ruskins Penguins, that I do want to finish by the end of March, and also working on the sampler of the month, December, which I want to finish by the end of April. I also want to start Disagree. So I'm stepping a little bit out of my plans for 2025 Year of the Whips and Kits, but those are kind of what I want to do in the next few weeks. So we'll see how that works out. So that's all my personal stuff, or my personal stitching stuff. So now I'm going to move over to some store goodies. I have some new designers that have come in over the last few weeks. One is, all of these are going to be newer designers that I haven't talked about before. And by newer, I mean newer to the store. They are by no means newer designers to the market. They are just new to me. The first is Samplers and Primitives. One of the exciting things about this whole process has been exploring different designers that maybe I haven't leaned towards in the past, or I have just not seen. And being able to go through the wholesale websites and see the different designers has been not only a little bit dangerous, we are self-funding this process, but really enlightening. And there's so much out there, and that's one of the things that I have really emphasized after coming back to cross stitch in 2020 is there really is stuff for everybody. Different styles, different color palettes, different vibes, energies. There's something for, it's not a grandma's cross stitch anymore, you know? So samplers and primitives. I think I have about 5 or 6 different patterns here from them. The first is called the Rose Quaker. This one is the first of a set of 2. And it's just a beautiful pattern. I'm sorry, it's got quite a bit of glare there. And this is a Quaker that I could be like, yep, I can change the colors on that if I wanted to. If I wanted them to match a certain room in my house. I love that rose that's on there. So that's the Rose Quaker. Next is the Rose Quaker 2. So again, I mentioned that they're a double series so far. Love the berry bowl on the top and the different roses. I think I like this one over here. I really love those colors. I'm drawn to the mauves quite a bit. Next is the Liberty Quaker. I do not typically want to stitch patriotic stuff, but this one I love. The Liberty Quaker. And again, all of these are available at FiestyNeedle.com. Red Rooster Sampler. This is a red sampler. Isn't he great? I love him. Again, the flowers down in the corner. If you wanted to modify and take the alphabet out and put in your family name or maybe some historical initials, things like that. What a great way to modify. If you don't want to do red and you want to do greens or blues or pinks, so many options. And the next and last one is it's my absolute favorite, y'all. Samplers and Primitives, the Bee Quaker. Look at that. God, that's so good. The Bee Quaker. So that's everything I have for Sampler and Primitives. The next designer I have is Quanternion Creations. I certainly hope I'm saying that correctly. I have been in conversations with this designer, and she's lovely. She's from Estonia. So these are from across the pond. The first pattern I have here is Nevermore. Second is the Forest Goddess. This one I believe was Nashville last year, or it may have been in the fall. I don't remember, but oh, she's just beautiful. Perfect. And the next is the Oak Nymph. Very Mother Earth. Love that. And the last one I have right now is Athena. She really does a lot of Greek mythology, and this is one of many of the Greek goddesses that she has designed. Again, any of these, especially the Athena or the Nymph, you could change colors if you wanted to. I did just also receive some books. She has designed a book, and it's also story-based. Someone else has written the story. She's done the designing and patterns that are in this book. I just received it today, so I haven't had a chance to really go through it, but I do intend to do a flip through, and that will be available on the website as well. I have a pattern in from Flossabilities, Cabin in the Woods. I love these popsicle trees. Oh, beautiful. Very North Woods, very Minnesota, Canada, you know, that kind of thing. The details in it are just beautiful. The border is beautiful. So that's Flossabilities. I brought in Mouse Sampler from Bad Stitch. Look at those guys. Oh my god, they're so cute. I was showing a friend of mine, and she's like, those little flowers look like eggs, you know, like over easy eggs. They kind of do, but they are just so cute. Love that. Bad Stitch. I do hope to bring in more by these designers as well. This one is, it's so pretty. And I don't even like to stitch houses, and I am super drawn to this. This is by Maximum Cross Stitch, and the swans at River House. So it is a winter house. You can see the snowflakes around the house. Isn't that pretty? Oh, love it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful and lovely. Look at that. We're at about 30 minutes. I love this for us. That's really all I have. I've got a lot more designers coming in. I have added a lot to the website. I just added the Stitch Crypt, so I'll do a probably the next video I'll do a flip through of the charts that I have in from her. I just received a shipment today of 2 other designers that are new to the shop, so I'm super excited to get those going as well. For all of the viewers and followers here in Minnesota, I am working on putting together a pop-up shop to be hosted somewhere here in the metro. I am running into some, I don't know what the right word is, hurdles with finding the right place and figuring out how that's going to look. So bear with me. I know I've talked about it to some of you, and I'm hoping that probably in the next 2 weeks, I'll have something nailed down with a day and a time and a location, which will be great. So that's more to come. Please go on and follow me on Facebook and or Instagram, or both. Fiesty Needle and Fiesty Stitcher. That's where I will do any updates as far as new designers that come in, when the pop-up shop will happen. And also I do have some shipping discounts coming for our Minnesota shoppers, which I'm super excited about as well. So that's it. Fiesty out. Be feisty in all you do, and especially in your stitching. Have a great day.